Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is me working on a Murray riding lawnmower. This is a 2003 model. I'm making a part 2 video here about what I did so far. Um, we're just taking our sweet time and trying to get this done. So, I found out today about some extra stuff about this mower. From the first video, I was showing y'all what the motor looked like when it was taken out, and what I did to it as far as cleaning it out and everything like that. And I went to go take the car. When I put the motor back in, it was missing a bolt already, and I found that there was 4 rusted bolts in here, and one of them was actually to fit this motor. So now there's 3 black bolts and another rusted one. So I'm gonna have to take it back out and clean it up. But I'm just putting it in there enough right now so I can try to get it cranked at least by this Sunday. I went ahead and got me a new spark plug today, and from O'Reilly's, because they're like $269 a piece. And I also got a brand new carburetor, which is coming in tomorrow because the old one was missing some pieces, and I tried to take it apart, and everything that was in the screws on the bottom were just completely stripped out. So I took it off, and this is the original gasket that was on there. The new one's supposed to come in a new gasket, but I'm not taking this off yet because this gasket here doesn't. It doesn't look like it's shot at all. But once the new carburetor comes in, I'll verify that it comes with the new gasket. It says it does, but if it doesn't, then I know what I have to do about this one, which usually they come as a kit. And I ordered the brand new ignition too, and it'll be here tomorrow. And I ordered a battery charger. And as you know, this is also the choke cable. It was already off, so I didn't know exactly how it was actually connected here on this thing. But I looked online to verify how it was actually running, and I actually found the solution on it. But when the new carburetor comes in, I'll hook it all back up. I don't know how well it's going to do since it's been bent. This is the other cable piece, and thank God it's still on here. I already know where that goes. Like I said, that was the old battery. I got a battery charger coming in. I'm going to try to charge it, let it sit for 24 hours and charge, and hopefully be fully charged. And once I get the ignition in, hopefully I'll be able to crank it. But I also said in the first video that I went ahead and spun the actual shaft on the bottom, including the top, to verify they were both spinning, and they were, so the engine is not seized. And we all know that these Briggs motors, they're pretty strong motors, and they do last. It's just the carburetors that do not last. Once I do get it running, I have a paint for this motor. I want to paint the motor and get some exhaust paint to repaint this. And as you know, I end up putting some brand new clamps on here because I don't like these piece of crap clamps. They're going to come off. I'm going to replace them all. I also cleaned all my grounds, including the ones that runs to especially the ones that runs right to the battery and that runs down to that thing there, which is the solenoid, I'm assuming. Runs to the starter. And I cleaned the motor up the best that I could. I used a sander, not a sander, a tool that I have for a drill. And it worked out a lot better than I thought it would. But it's always best to be sure, like, these things you can see all the way through and be sure they're cleaned out really good. As you can tell, you can see all the way through these things. I don't know if this thing's going to work properly. I'm going to crank it up first and see. Amazon sells them, but I haven't seen one for this exact model motor. I mean, they all look like they're identical, but I want to be sure I get the right one. But because it's rusted doesn't mean it ain't going to work. So, and when I told y'all in the first video about I was missing this piece, I actually didn't realize about the lawnmower salvage yard that was in my town. I called them the lawnmower god. They have tons of lawnmowers, pushing mowers, riding ones. They sell nice ones, and they have motors on the side that are already out that are separate. Well, I told a lady that I was looking for the cover piece, the screening. I have the metal cover on my shelf over there, and I was missing the oil dipstick tube, and they have that. And she said, well, she offered it, sell me both parts for $20. She said, you just want the screen for it? And I said, no, I think it's just best just to go ahead and just sell me the whole metal thing with the screen already on it and with the tube, only $20, and that's what the person pulling it. Now, you can tell here's my original one. Like I said in the first video, it wasn't even screwed on. So, make sure that's all done and dealt with. I'm just hoping that the starter actually turns, but when I looked at the blade, it does move a little bit, so I know it's not seized. I don't think it's missing anything, as far as I can tell. So yeah, and here's the actual where the ignition was. I threw the other one away because it was rusted. It had corrosion in it. But this is the plug. These two pins here is to make it run. This is for the off. And I forgot what was this one for, because I was looking at the blueprint today. There's not very many sites online that have a blueprint for this mower. So I was doing some research to see who else has had this mower. I've only seen a few videos on people who actually have the mower, and they've had them where they had to change the carburetor. Some people said they had to replace the breather on them, the whole 9 yards. But I guess we'll see what happens. But I'm going to show y'all the other parts that are over here. Here is the cover to the air filter, and which I cleaned them out really good with soap and hot water and a sponge. And these are the little tabs that go on top of it, which I kept them because I'm not going to sit there and buy another one. And there's the other one. Here's the cover piece. I cleaned it up as best as I could with hot water and soap to get all the grease and all the crap off of it. The rest of that's just old rust. This is the other panel here. On here, it's a little heavier than the other one, but I had to clean it up because there was webs or moss, whatever it was on it. And I cleaned this thing up. This is what I was talking about that was holding the motor in from the bottom, this little plate thing with the studs. I don't know what this thing is called, but I think it keeps the motor. I think it keeps everything intact. I'm not really for sure what it does, but if you know what it is, then you can let me know in the comments. I would appreciate it. And this is my carburetor right here. This is the old one. I thought this one had a filter on it. I looked online, it says it's supposed to, but I don't see a place for a filter, because right there where that little notch is, that was for the hose for the gas tank. And I don't know if I'm right about this, but I'm not for sure if this is supposed to move or not. I know this one does move back and forth. I know this is working like it should and it's not broke, but this one here just does not move, so I'm not for sure if it's supposed to or not. But if it does, then I know it's probably seized. So I was going to take these four screws, these three Phillips head screws, but I think they're just so corroded on there. I tried every screwdriver that I could, even my power drill, and it wouldn't even take these screws out. It was just eating them up. So I just said, well, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to go ahead and just buy another carburetor for $20, brand new, and that's not a bad price for the year of an 03 lawnmower. And we know riding lawnmowers are really expensive. So when you get it from somebody who didn't want it, I mean, it's worth spending money into it. I'm not losing anything, not when the lawnmower was actually free. And if y'all want to know, this is the spark plug that I bought. The same one. It's the same exact one that it uses. But I got the J19LM. The Champion brand. O'Reilly's does carry them. They're like $2.69 a piece. Amazon wants, I think, like $7 for two. For a 2-pack, if you want like a 4-pack, they're like $9. But even for a single pack on Amazon is like it's like $5.50. So I mean, I just don't trust using the other spark plug because I'm afraid that the spark plug could have been fouled out, because I don't know if this thing's been sitting outside or what's been going on. So I'd rather just take the chance for $2 and just switch it out. As long as this thing fires up here too, then I wouldn't have a problem. I just wish I knew where this wire actually went to here, and I'm not for sure because it was already disconnected. But I do not see another wire that's cut in here for that. I'm thinking it probably runs to this connector here, and it looks like it does, but I still don't understand where it actually runs to. That's my issue that I'm having. So I hope I don't have to find a harness for this, because these lawnmowers are not easy to find. I'll talk to that lady and see if I can get a harness, if she has one, if she has this particular lawnmower. But I'm afraid it may not even crank if this wire is going to something important. Unless the only thing I can think of, unless it goes right there in that port, but it doesn't have that in like it has right here. But from what I'm looking at, I think it runs directly to that port, and it probably runs to the back. But me feeling this connector back here, I don't even feel a wire on the rear of it. Unless it's just a connector, unless it's just a reset switch of some sort. I'm not for sure. Still trying to look into that. But yeah, I hope this video helps. This is my part 2 video on this lawnmower. There will be a part 3 soon once I get it started. And once I do, I will make a video on it and show you that it has been started. And it might take a while, and it may smoke if it does. I'll be surprised if it does start. I was supposed to buy a lawnmower motor from this guy today, but he didn't really get in contact back with me. So I said, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to see if I can get this one started first before I waste about $65 on a used motor. But the guy didn't tell me it was missing a starter. And he told me everything was on it. And I'm like, now I'm not going to buy it from you, because I don't know if the starter that I have on mine is compatible with the other one. But he said it runs, but I'd rather take the chance of doing this first, be sure it runs before I go any further in this whole entire process. So hopefully by Monday I'll have this thing completely started, or at least try or at least attempt to. But I hope y'all subscribe to my channel again, and you can view the description below for my official website for more videos, downloads, or anything else you're looking for. You also may comment anything you like in the comments about this lawnmower. If you have any questions, just let me know. Y'all have a great weekend, and have a great one.